Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sallie, joined by my co-host, Katie. We're identical twin sisters. We invite you to join us as we investigate our similarities and differences in all things life has to offer. Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark Friday Feedback. I'm your host, Sallie.
And I'm your other host, Katie.
Every time Katie's here for Friday Feedback, I just feel like it's extra special.
This is the second time I've contributed to Friday Feedback, and I just show up.
I know, but it's I don't know if I want my hair in front of me or behind me. I'm a mess. But anyway, I'm so excited. I love when Katie's here in the studio of her home with me.
In my own house.
In Katie's house that I actually spend more time in sometimes than you spend in your own home.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're doing Friday Feedback, and this week we were just so lucky to have our first guest on Twin Study After Dark Study Breaks. Our guest was Andrew Reyes of the Oak. He is in the fitness and nutrition community, and he did amazing. I was so proud of him because I think it was our first guest interview, but I'm pretty sure it was his first podcast interview.
Yeah, he was definitely our guinea pig.
Yes.
As heard in the audio.
We told him that though too.
Yeah, we did give him a fair warning.
And Andrew and I have already talked, and he said next time he is coming to the studio, and I told him to bring the family, and we can have them all on.
Very sweet.
But anyway, we got lots of engagement this week with the episode, and I'm so excited to share some of the feedback we've received. This week, first of all, though, has flown by. Do you feel like that?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, how is it already Friday Feedback? I just felt like this week went by so fast.
Okay, I could see that. I understand that. But I don't know. I just had a ton of meetings today, so I feel like it felt longer. But
okay, today was insane. I felt like today was like go, 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 and then now we're here, and that's why I have a beer with me right now.
Yeah, and
my mom juice.
I have wine that I put ice cubes in because it's so hot. That's
gonna be so annoying. Katie's gonna do
so
ASMR, and with the ice cubes. Like, do you guys hear these?
No, okay, so I hate that stuff. So we're going off track, but Sallie, she loves it. She loves hearing somebody whisper to her, and it's very strange to me. But we've concluded that I may have sensitivities to sound because we also have had other experiences. We did a sound bath in Joshua Tree, which is supposed to be incredibly relaxing, and it was very hard for me to get through, but every other woman we were with loved it.
I loved it. It was top 10 experiences of my life.
Yeah, and the sound thing is hard for me.
But anyway, I'm not even kidding you. I will watch ASMR videos before bed, or Reiki. Okay, I can't pronounce words. Videos before bed where they're like, we're cutting cords, we're bringing out all your positive light, we're getting away negative energy. I'll watch that and it just soothes me. I love it. And I made Katie watch some, and she was like, this is disgusting.
It doesn't make me feel good.
You feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't like it
anyway,
at all.
My point is, listening to the swish of your ice cubes is going to sound like that. So
everybody's gonna have a drink listening to this episode. They'll be like, I need to go grab a drink.
No, they're just gonna be like, ooh, what is that tingly sensation I feel from the ice cubes?
No.
But anyway, we talked to Andrew, and kind of going along with the spiritual realm, I'm gonna give my feedback before anyone else gives theirs. But I loved when he shared the acorn story, why he chose the name the Oak for his company.
Yeah.
And for those of you who didn't listen, basically he told us he's always had a fascination with acorns. Since he was little, he's always looked forward to the day in fall when they drop on the ground, and he likes feeling them. And then when he got a little older, he started realizing the potential in an acorn and how this little thing can grow into a majestic tree.
Yeah.
Well, when I was thinking of that, because he's like, I don't know why, I've just always had a fascination. I thought of how I've said this before, and you mentioned it, but I was like, I don't know why. I've always just loved this specific horse. I need a horse. Someone buy me one. And you were like, it's probably because it's your spirit animal. And I'm not saying an acorn is his spirit anything, but I am saying, what if his higher self just knew he was going to have a company someday and it was going to be called the Oak? You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I don't know why I have this fascination. I'm like, because you kind of knew you were always going to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
in a spiritual sense. That's where I'm coming from. I'm like, that's what I think anyway. Also, I wanted to see, I'm like so hyper right now because I just thought of something else somebody sent me recently about acorns.
What?
Did you see this video?
No.
It's of Sarah Silverman talking about acorns and squirrels.
Oh, right. They forget where they hide them.
Like 90% of acorns that squirrels put in their mouth and store somewhere, they forget where they come from. And she's like, first of all, that's hilarious. They just store them somewhere and then they forget. But second of all, she made the realization that's how trees are planted.
Yeah.
Just little chipmunks or squirrels going around spreading seeds and they forget where they leave them. So then, like, that plants as trees.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's cool.
Yeah. I also, maybe a spirit animal of mine is the squirrel because that seems like something I do.
Totally.
Like, where did all the acorns go? I don't know.
You're like living in this luxurious forest and you're like, why? Where did they go?
I can't find any of the acorns. It's like surrounded by oak trees.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, the next thing that feedback-wise we received was a lot on kind of the spicier part of the topic. We were talking about losing weight and using like drugs to get there.
This is like the topic that never dies.
No.
I swear to God.
It's because it's so prevalent.
It's so recent, right?
Ozempic
and using drugs like injections to lose weight. But I just feel like I'm seeing it everywhere.
Oh my God, I'm seeing it everywhere. I mean, because it's all over social media. But also, I'm not even kidding you. I've talked to so many people, even just working out this morning, I was talking to people that were like, oh yeah, I have a friend that's on it. One of my best friends who lives in Chicago, she's like, yeah, I have 3 friends that just started it.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to know how people are getting money for this.
I don't know how you get a prescription for it.
I don't think it's that hard if you have the funds.
Oh, really?
I mean, how are they getting it otherwise?
I don't know.
To me, I'm like, they must... I think that there's off-brands, and I might be wrong, guys. I'm not a medical...
We shouldn't say how we think. We just don't know.
We don't know how
if
people
anybody
think.
can, like,
Enlighten us.
let us know how you get it.
How did your friends get it?
Yeah. We're not going to try it.
No, we're not going to, but I've talked to a couple of people who have told me ways, but I don't even feel like disclosing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't want to put...
This is what the podcast is for.
Okay, so somebody I talked to, her friend is a nurse practitioner.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how that even works, right? Like,
right.
But you know what I mean?
She can like write prescriptions?
I have no idea.
I don't get it either.
That's why I said
she just has connections. She has got connections. Well, even our dad sent us an email about like the side effects of the Ozempic.
That was weird because he did not listen to the episode.
Oh my God. I feel like he's like, oh my God, the girls are going to try it and there's so many side effects.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not interested. I did inject myself when I had my egg retrieval. That 1 month of injections was enough for me.
Not with Ozempic.
Oh, right. Not with Ozempic. No. To have my egg retrieval, I had to inject myself multiple times a day. That 1 month of it, I don't know how people go through years of IVF because that 1 month was enough for me.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need to do this anymore.
And Ozempic, you're doing it just to like... And granted, there are health benefits for people that truly need it, but for strictly weight loss, and that's what we were kind of talking about. The email that Dad sent, I forget what the article was, but I did see my dad, he really sends us like all his opinions all the time, and we kind of choose which ones we're going to read. But basically, the article said that there was data about getting off these drugs. It wasn't good for your stomach. It was like paralysis in the stomach and intestines.
And from somebody who's had paralysis of the bladder, paralysis in general sounds like the worst thing that could ever happen.
Like, it means it's just like frozen, right?
I'm just not having it.
Yeah. Paralysis is like can't move.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's scary. And I do understand, like, celebrities, it's their job to look a certain way, right? Or whatever.
That pressure must be so high.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And honestly, I agree too. Like, if you're obese and you need something, everything you've tried isn't working, and it's just unfortunately incredibly hard for you, I agree. Like, you should be, this miracle drug that's helping people could benefit those that just like have not been able to find a way any other way. I see that perspective.
I see the perspective, but I don't agree it's the right thing to do.
I don't
This is
want to
Sallie.
put my opinion on it because everybody's so uniquely different, and
You don't want to get in trouble.
no, I just also, you don't know people's level of desperation. Like, when you think about something you really, really want and you can't have it, we've touched on this before, that is the most pure form of torture there is.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine hating how you look, hating how you feel, being uncomfortable, being in pain, and then this magical drug comes along and it seems like something that could actually help you. I'm not making any judgments on that.
Okay. Well, Sallie, I do think that there's healthier ways, and I definitely am concerned for the people who are, like healthy weight, healthy body type that literally just have a problem and want to be smaller.
Oh, totally.
Like, that to me is the scary part. Like,
Yeah.
those people doing what they think is right for them, but it's just not. I don't know. So, and again, we've had this conversation on previous podcasts, but how scary I think that is for children, little girls in particular, to see that these efforts are taken to stay skinny, because what is that saying, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's saying, like, your health isn't really as important as looking good. I don't know. So anyway, tons of feedback on this. Tons of feedback. And basically, I really did like Andrew's, basically his explanation of when you go on something, or if you are doing a quick fix, like, just be cautious about it. And obviously you want to make sure you're changing the habits, because if you ever do go off of it, or if something changes, you want to really try to make a healthy lifestyle in general. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not changing anything, then you're going to be left unhappy again eventually.
I think what I got from it too is, like, you want to create healthy patterns that have longevity. And you think about how many people, I know so many people that go on these fad diets and lose a ton of weight, and then they're so skinny, and then a year later they're bigger than they were before they started the diet. Yeah. So it's like the longevity wasn't created. So what you need to do is create patterns, and to create patterns, that's just exercise, not exercising physically, but exercising something daily that gets ingrained in repetition and in your mind, where it just becomes natural for you.
I don't want to harp on this too much, but I have heard, like, obesity in families, it's like a generational thing. It's not always genetics. Sometimes it's those healthy habits that we don't pass on, or those healthy habits that we do pass on to our kids. So I just think of, in terms of our family too, like, creating a healthy lifestyle that my kids are going to benefit from as much as I do.
Well, like, also switching the emphasis from, which is really hard for us to do because of how we were raised in the millennium with so many strictly thin women to look up to, just changing your mind to say thin is not beautiful, strong is beautiful, and recognizing the strength that you have in your body and letting your kids also recognize that.
Yeah, like, you want a healthy, strong body.
Yeah.
That's going to last you. Somebody wrote in and said that they really liked how and actually I can relate to this, how he said, when you are being hard on yourself, like, oh man, I haven't ran in 5 days or whatever, I haven't ran in 2 months, whatever. Lots of times he says he starts with grace, and how important that is to give you, not only as, like, an individual, but definitely as a parent, because there's just so much on our schedules.
Yeah.
But also how he talked about, we are oftentimes comparing not only ourselves to other people, but to a previous version of ourselves.
Yeah, totally.
I thought that was huge, because I honestly, I didn't even think of that because we're twins, so sometimes like we compare each other with each other.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh damn, like that really hit hard. Like, yeah, I am just comparing to my 20-year-old self, or and like we're not the same person.
Oh, I think about it all the time. Every time I run, which is once a month. I'm kidding. That didn't actually make the podcast.
That didn't make the podcast.
That didn't make the podcast.
Katie runs once a month.
But like it was interesting that didn't make the cut.
There was a lot.
But every time I run, I do compare myself to myself because I'm like, oh, like whatever, when I was this age, I could run a mile in 8 minutes. And now I'm at like 11 minutes or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so slow. But like the fact is you're doing it. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I liked how he said like you have to just give yourself grace and like if you're slow to start, like start out with like a half mile, like just start somewhere. Just make yourself motivated to like do something and then eventually you can grow on that. But yeah, I have so many friends who are stuck in why isn't my body type the way it used to be back in college? And it's been 17 years, right? Like that's sad. So I think that like we just need to remember that our bodies can still be strong and still be beautiful. They're just different shapes now. And like that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody wrote in and said that this episode was perfect because they just joined a fitness community. And they said they liked the importance of how he talked about community. I noted this because I don't know if this made the episode, but I was thinking about this when I was talking to this individual, how the community aspect does help you be accountable, but also if you're not that into working out, it does make you excited to go, even if like this is hard for you. Like because you become friends and it's like you look forward to like laughing with them.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that makes sense. This was a female that wrote in. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Adam went to a second oak workout.
Oh, cool.
My husband did. He said he did not want to be just another statistic because we joked about how 80% of the people that go to this workout community, the Oak, are women, and the men that come once and never come back. So I was going to go on my own on, I forget what day this was, Monday. And then he was like, you know what? Maybe I'll come with you. And I was like, okay. Well, then we need to take the twins with us because the older kids were at Katie's house as they usually are.
Mm-hmm.
They're like always over at Katie's. But yeah, he went and it was tough. And the twins, you know how they are. So that was challenging. But he was really happy he did it. And
that's good.
I was proud of him. I was like, you did it. What else did I get? Yeah, the grace thing. I think that was the majority of our feedback.
Yeah.
When I'm saying like we got so much feedback about the Ozempic thing, I'm not lying. That was mostly what people wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to have him on and pick his brain about it more.
I know. He was afraid to kind of talk about it because it can be a controversial subject. And I'm like, those are the topics that people want to hear.
Yeah, totally.
The ones that you're like, I'm afraid to say anything.
I do think that, like, sing his praises. He has such a genuine care for humans, and I think that he really is making a difference and is going to continue making so many changes in so many people's lives. So he was a phenomenal guest. I think that
oh, you know what?
What?
Okay, so Andrew, if you're listening, the Oak community, if you're listening, or any fitness person, when I was at boot camp the other day, which, again, we brought our kids to, which is another pro of doing something like this, right? Like, it's a community. The kids can kind of just, like, play on the side or whatever because it's outside. But my twins are only 18 months. I think that maybe you need to do an Oak community branch that's, like, mommy and me toddler time.
Oh, my God. That would be such a hit.
Yes. Because then everybody would have their stroller.
But it doesn't have to be mommy and me.
It could be daddy and me?
Yeah, or it doesn't matter. Like the parent and me.
Oh, yeah.
Then you meet single parents.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. And then now you're also going to do singles events? Singles only? No, I'm just kidding. We're like making a whole other brand.
Yeah, totally.
So when you said you wanted to expand the company.
Yeah.
But because at one of the times I was like squatting one of the twins and I was like, can we have a mommy and me class so that like, and then like people will be like, I forgot my weight. And I'll be like, here, take a twin.
Oh my gosh. For real. A child is a weight.
Yeah.
A weight that gets heavier every month.
That's kind of what his private, semi-private classes do though, is like teach you how to like use your body appropriately so you're not like injuring yourself picking up children and stuff. So like, again, I feel like he's already doing it. He's already doing it.
Totally.
So I'm just saying, you want to make more money. There you go. But anyway, next, or did you have anything else to share?
No.
I was trying to think of what else we got. So, seriously, this week went by so fast, and I'm probably missing something.
For sure.
I personally love fitness and health. I'm not the best at nutrition. I know I could be better, but like that to me is passion. So I loved hearing everything he had to share. And you're definitely, you and the other person that you're going to mention his name starting next week on the podcast are going to come to an event, hopefully the Duran, the next event the Oak is hosting. That'll be so fun.
We will try.
Okay, so anyway, next Monday we have a fun episode. It's just a lighthearted, hilarious episode about bachelorette horror stories and weddings. Basically, we debate if having a bachelorette party is worth it or a good idea because we have, guys, I'm not even kidding you, like so many crazy stories that, like, it's insane.
Yeah.
And then as far as weddings, I kind of talk about how my wedding wasn't the best day of my life or even close for that matter. And it's the debatable topic. Is the wedding the best day of your life? And we talk about if Katie would ever go down the aisle again.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, we'll see.
To
be continued.
This time you won't be a child bride.
This time I'll be an old woman bride.
I know. I love how you think like 26 is a child bride because there's definitely younger brides than that.
Oh my gosh, I know that. But like looking back, I just didn't know myself and I felt like, I mean, I was just such a kid.
I think I was 28 when I got married.
I think you were 28, yeah.
And I felt like that was a kid. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we were both children brides. Or no, but like also maybe we're just immature.
I mean, I feel like a child still.
I still feel like a child, except for sometimes my back hurts.
And I'm mothering, so
my knees hurt.
A child mothering a child.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for joining us for this week's Friday feedback. Thank you, Andrew from the Oak. We love you. We are so excited to talk to you in the future and hear all about the Oak. Hopefully in a year we'll have another update. Good luck to everybody that's just doing their best. Happy full moon weekend.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. We always update you on the full moons.
I'm so excited. Yeah, and I have my 1-year anniversary trip this weekend.
Yeah, so everybody say a little prayer that Katie doesn't ruin it.
Oh my God. I'm not gonna, we're gonna have the best time ever.
1 year with Katie, that's a big deal. No, I'm not saying that you're hard for a year. It's just that, like, that's a big deal. 1 year, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal to me.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Especially, like, he's met your family, met your kid. I mean, any guy who comes over and, like, is gonna, like, basically help you parent for a year, that's a big commitment he made.
Oh, yeah. He's the best. I'll put that out there. The person I'm with is just the most kind, beautiful-hearted human being ever, and I'm very lucky he's put up with me for a year.
He's put up with you, Mom. We should stop saying things like that.
I know.
We have some inner work to do.
Maybe on the next podcast.
Yes,
Oh, my goodness. Well, we kind of do work through some things. We have a phenomenal guest coming up in July, and we cannot wait to share who she is. Mm-hmm. But I think everybody's going to really enjoy that episode.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll talk to you again on Monday for a super funny episode that Mom and Dad should not listen to.
What? I think they can listen.
Katie, they cannot listen to that one.
They know it all already.
Okay, no, they cannot listen to it.
Okay, fine.
I don't even want to say this, but it's like, just please don't listen. Like, I don't even want to preface it. Yeah. There's some recreational use of some things that are no longer Okay, just don't listen.
And it's. I was about to say it's Aunt Sally. Like I was talking to Theo. I don't feel embarrassed by the episode at all. So
well, they can imagine how I was at bachelorette parties back in the day.
Yeah.
And like, let's just let it rest at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Mom and Dad, don't listen to it on Monday. Everybody else, please enjoy.
And with that,
okay. Love you guys.
Bye.
Hi everyone, it's Sally. We're gonna leave our story there for today and pick up next week on Twin Study After Dark. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, please rate, review, and subscribe. We'll meet again next week for more Twin Studies. Bye.